Dr. Sarah Chen stood motionless before the quantum detection array, her eyes fixed on the anomalous readings that shouldn't exist. The underground facility beneath Mount Fuji hummed with its usual quiet efficiency, but there was nothing usual about these results. The quantum signatures matched exactly what her team had theorized would indicate advanced cloaking technology. "Director Wong needs to see this immediately," she whispered, her fingers already dancing across the holographic interface. The detection array had been her life's work, built on theories that most of the scientific community had dismissed as impossible. Now it was showing her something that would change humanity forever. Within minutes, Director James Wong's weathered face appeared on her secure display. "Dr. Chen, it's 300 hours. This had better be important." "Sir, remember the quantum variance patterns we discussed last month? The ones that would indicate artificial gravity manipulation." She transmitted the data stream to his terminal. "We're detecting 17 distinct signatures moving through the Kuiper belt. They're using some form of mass distortion technology to hide their presence, but they can't mask the quantum wake." Wang's expression remained carefully neutral, but Sarah caught the slight tightening around his eyes. Confidence level: 99.97%. The signatures matched the theoretical models perfectly. She pulled up another display, showing the object's trajectory. "Based on their current vector and velocity, they'll reach lunar orbit in approximately 73 days. And they haven't detected our quantum sensors." Sarah allowed herself a small smile. "They don't even know to look for them, sir. As far as they're concerned, we're still struggling with basic radio astronomy." Wang nodded slowly, his fingers steepled beneath his chin. "Initiate protocol Sleeping Dragon. Authorization Wang 7 Delta." Sarah's heart rate quickened. They had drilled for this scenario countless times, but the reality of it sent adrenaline coursing through her veins. "Yes, sir. Contacting all quantum defense nodes now." Across the globe, hidden facilities similar to Mount Fuji stirred to life. Beneath the Antarctic ice, inside the Amazon rainforest, and deep within the Sahara Desert, humanity's true technological capabilities began to awaken. For decades, Earth had maintained a careful facade of normal technological progression, while secretly preparing for this exact moment. "What about the civilian satellites?" Sarah asked, already knowing the answer but needing to hear it confirmed. "Maintain current patterns. Let our visitors see exactly what they expect to see." Wang's expression hardened. "How many of the quantum mines are in position?" Sarah checked another display. 8,317, sir. All disguised as standard space debris. The Lagrange point defense platforms are also ready, though their power signatures are completely masked. "Good. Keep monitoring their approach. I want to know the moment they try to communicate." Wang paused, considering his next words carefully. "Dr. Chen, you understand what this means. Everything we've built, everything we've hidden. It all comes down to these next few months." Sarah nodded, feeling the weight of history pressing down on her shoulders. "We've prepared for this, sir. 3 generations of scientists and engineers working in secret, developing quantum technology while the rest of the world thought we were still playing with silicon chips and chemical rockets. And now we'll see if it was enough." Wang's image flickered slightly. "One more thing, Doctor. Your brother's still working at that tech startup in Singapore." "Yes, sir. Quantum computing research, just like we arranged. Get him home quietly. When this starts, we're going to need every trained quantum physicist we can trust." The screen went dark, leaving Sarah alone with the steadily blinking displays. She turned back to the quantum detection array, watching the alien ships move through the outer solar system. They were being careful, methodical in their approach, clearly believing their stealth technology made them invisible to the primitive humans below. Sarah couldn't help but wonder what they thought they would find here. A developing civilization, perhaps. Easy prey for conquest or subjugation. Instead, they would find humanity at its most dangerous. Prepared, united, and hidden behind a mask of technological inferiority. The quantum mines scattered throughout the solar system were just the beginning. Earth's true defenses lay in the seemingly primitive satellites, each one carrying carefully concealed quantum weapons designed specifically to counter alien technology. Sarah opened a secure channel to the quantum defense network, her voice steady despite the gravity of the moment. Begin Operation Silent Thunder. Authorization, Chen 9 Echo. Across the solar system, hidden sensors awakened, gathering data on their unsuspecting visitors. Earth's greatest deception was about to be put to the ultimate test. In high orbit, thousands of inactive satellites continued their seemingly random paths, their true capabilities hidden beneath layers of quantum camouflage. Deep within the moon's dark side, automated construction units remained dormant, waiting for the signal to begin producing quantum-enhanced weaponry. Throughout the asteroid belt, kinetic strike platforms maintained their silent vigil, disguised as ordinary rocks. Sarah pulled up the global readiness display, checking the status of Earth's hidden defenses. Chinese quantum arrays in the Gobi Desert reported ready. Russian deep space monitoring stations beneath the Ural Mountains confirmed target tracking. The European Union's gravity manipulation grid, disguised as a series of weather monitoring stations, stood prepared to disrupt alien propulsion systems. "Send word to the deep space facilities," she commanded. "Tell them to maintain radio silence, but keep quantum channels open. I want to know the moment these visitors try anything unusual." As her orders rippled through the quantum network, Sarah allowed herself a moment of reflection. Humanity had hidden its true capabilities for nearly a century, developing in secret while maintaining a carefully crafted facade of normal technological progression. Now that deception would be put to the ultimate test. The quantum detection array continued its silent watch, recording every movement of the approaching fleet. Sarah Chen settled into her chair, knowing that sleep would be impossible now. History was about to be made, and she had a front-row seat to humanity's first interstellar conflict. In the depths of space, 17 alien vessels continued their careful approach, unaware that their every movement was being tracked, analyzed, and prepared for. They thought they were about to make first contact with a primitive species. Instead, they were about to learn why humanity had survived countless extinction-level events to reach this point. The game was about to begin, and Earth held all the cards. Admiral Marcus Rodriguez watched the holographic display from his command center deep within the Andes Mountains, studying the approaching alien vessels with practiced calm. 2 weeks had passed since Dr. Chen's discovery, and humanity's trap was nearly ready to spring. "Status of the civilian broadcast network?" he asked, his voice carrying across the bustling command center. Lieutenant Sophia Patel consulted her quantum terminal. "All stations maintaining normal patterns, sir. We're broadcasting exactly what you'd expect from a pre-spaceflight civilization. Radio chatter, satellite TV, internet traffic, all carefully curated to show technological development consistent with early 21st century capabilities. And our visitors are buying it. Hook, line, and sinker, sir. Their scan patterns indicate they're focusing primarily on our visible infrastructure. They're completely ignoring the quantum spectrum." Marcus allowed himself a small smile. Humanity's greatest advantage wasn't its hidden technology. It was the aliens' own arrogance. They saw what they expected to see. A young species still taking its first stumbling steps into space. "Signal from Mount Fuji," announced Commander Wei Chen, Sarah's brother, who had been quietly recalled from Singapore. "Dr. Chen reports the Kraxin fleet has begun active scanning of our outer system defense satellites." "Right on schedule," Marcus murmured. "Begin Phase 2 of Operation Silent Thunder. Let's give our visitors something interesting to look at." Across Earth's orbit, carefully positioned satellites began broadcasting seemingly random energy signatures. To the alien sensors, it would appear as though humanity was experimenting with crude attempts at faster-than-light communication, exactly the kind of technological fumbling they would expect from a developing civilization. "Sir," Sophia called out, "we're detecting changes in the Kraxin fleet formation. 3 vessels are breaking off to investigate Defense Satellite Cluster 7. Marcus nodded, unsurprised. That's the one we loaded with the quantum bait, correct? Yes, sir. Dr. Chen's team designed it specifically to attract their attention. The energy signature mimics early attempts at gravitational manipulation, but with deliberate inefficiencies. The command center fell silent as everyone watched the 3 alien ships approach the satellite cluster. Years of preparation had led to this moment. The satellites appeared to be nothing more than primitive communication relays, but each one contained quantum processors capable of bypassing alien cyber defenses. "They're initiating contact," Wei reported, his fingers dancing across his console. "Quantum sensors detect their systems attempting to interface with our satellite network." Marcus straightened in his chair. "Execute containment protocols. Let them think they're successfully hacking our systems." The trap was elegant in its simplicity. As the aliens accessed what they thought was Earth's primitive satellite network, they would find exactly what they expected: outdated technology, basic encryption, and seemingly valuable military data. What they wouldn't realize was that every bit of information had been carefully crafted to mislead them. "Signal from the lunar dark side facilities," Sophia announced. "All quantum weapon platforms report ready. The moment they try to use any of the data they're stealing, their systems will be wide open to us," Marcus finished. "Status of the global defense grid. Chinese quantum arrays are synchronized. Russian gravity manipulation platforms standing by. European Union deep space monitors are tracking every movement. Indian Ocean quantum submarine fleet reports all units in position." Marcus studied the tactical display, watching as the alien ships continued their intrusion into Earth's satellite network. Humanity had spent decades preparing this moment, building layer upon layer of deception. The aliens thought they were dealing with a primitive species that would be easy to intimidate or conquer. Instead, they were walking into humanity's carefully laid trap. "Sir," Wei called out, "we're detecting power fluctuations in the Craxan vessels. They're preparing to broadcast." "Here it comes," Marcus said softly. "The moment they think they've established superiority. Patch it through to main speakers." The alien transmission filled the command center, automatically translated by quantum computers. "People of Earth, we come in peace as representatives of the Craxan Confederation. Your world stands on the brink of a new era. We offer guidance and protection to developing civilizations such as yours." Several officers struggled to hide their smiles. The aliens' condescending tone was exactly what they had anticipated. "Prepare our response," Marcus ordered. "Remember, we want to sound appropriately awed, but not completely helpless. Let's give them just enough resistance to make our eventual submission believable." As his communications team crafted Earth's reply, Marcus opened a secure quantum channel to Dr. Chen at Mount Fuji. "Sarah, how long before they detect the quantum signature we planted in Satellite Cluster 7? "At their current level of investigation, approximately 6 hours, she replied. "When they do, they'll think they've discovered evidence of failed quantum experiments. It should reinforce their belief in our technological inferiority." "Good. Keep monitoring their reactions. If they follow the predicted pattern, they'll try to demonstrate their superiority by disabling some of our satellite network. And when they do," Sarah added, "they'll trigger the quantum feedback loop we designed. Their own weapons will give us a perfect map of their defensive capabilities." Marcus ended the transmission and turned back to the tactical display. Across the solar system, humanity's hidden defenses waited silently. The Craxan thought they were crafting a narrative of peaceful first contact while establishing their dominance. They didn't realize they were actually participating in their own technological vulnerability assessment. "Message from the Secretary General," Sophia announced. "All major powers confirm ready status. Military exercises are positioned to look like routine training." "Excellent." Marcus watched as the alien ships continued their careful dance through Earth's orbital space. "You know what humanity's greatest strength is, Lieutenant. It's not our technology or our weapons. It's our ability to work together when faced with a common threat. For the first time in human history, every major power on Earth is united in purpose. The command center hummed with quiet efficiency as humanity's forces maintained their deception. In orbit, thousands of seemingly primitive satellites continued their programmed routines, each one hiding quantum weapons designed specifically to counter Kraxan technology. Beneath the oceans, quantum-enhanced submarines waited in perfect silence. In bunkers and bases around the world, soldiers and pilots prepared for a war unlike any humanity had fought before. The web was woven, and the Kraxan were flying straight into it. Captain Maya Santos stood on the bridge of the submersible quantum carrier Atlantis, 3 kilometers beneath the Pacific Ocean. The massive vessel, officially listed as a deep-sea research platform, remained perfectly still in the darkness of the Hadal Zone. Above, hidden by miles of water, the Kraxan fleet was making its move. New contact, her sensor officer reported. Kraxan destroyer approaching satellite defense grid 4. Their weapon systems are powering up. Maya nodded, unsurprised. After 3 days of increasingly demanding negotiations, the aliens had finally lost patience with humanity's carefully orchestrated reluctance to submit to their protection. They're targeting the Indian Ocean satellite cluster, Tactical announced. Quantum sensors detect energy buildup consistent with their main particle beam weapons. Right where we wanted them, Maya said softly. Status of Operation Undertow. Chinese and Russian quantum submarines are in position. European and American carrier groups maintain holding patterns, all vessels running silent. The bridge crew watched their quantum displays as the alien destroyer positioned itself above the satellite cluster. The Kraxan had spent days analyzing Earth's orbital defenses, confident they had identified every possible threat. Their scans had revealed exactly what humanity wanted them to see: primitive satellites with basic defensive capabilities. Their broadcasting, communications reported. Standard ultimatum: submit to Confederation authority or face technological superiority demonstration. Maya allowed herself a small smile. Send the predicted response. Full diplomatic protests, threats of military retaliation. Make it sound desperate. Moments later, the Kraxan destroyer opened fire. Brilliant beams of energy lanced down from orbit, striking the satellite cluster. To the alien sensors, the primitive human technology stood no chance against their advanced weapons. Direct hits confirmed, Tactical reported. Satellite cluster showing catastrophic damage, exactly as planned. Signal from Mount Fuji, communications announced. Dr. Chen reports quantum infiltration successful. The alien weapon signature has been fully analyzed and cataloged. Maya straightened in her command chair. Begin Phase 3. Let's show our visitors why you don't underestimate Earth's oceans. Deep beneath the waves, quantum generators powered up. The technology, reverse-engineered from crashed alien probes decades ago, had been perfected in secret. While the Kraxans celebrated their easy victory over Earth's satellite defenses, they failed to notice the subtle changes in the quantum fabric of space around their ships. Gravitational distortion field at full power, engineering reported. Quantum wake generators online. Execute Operation Undertow. Maya commanded. All vessels, initiate gravity pulse on my mark. Across Earth's oceans, dozens of quantum submarines activated their primary weapons. The technology was elegant in its simplicity, using the aliens' own gravitational propulsion systems against them. The Kraxan ships maintained position through careful manipulation of local gravity fields. They never considered that humanity might have mastered similar technology. Mark. The ocean itself seemed to pulse as quantum generators created carefully calculated gravitational distortions. In orbit, the Kraxan destroyer suddenly found itself fighting against impossible forces as its own gravity drive began to malfunction. Enemy vessel losing altitude control, Tactical reported with professional satisfaction. Their compensators can't handle the conflicting gravity fields. Maya watched as the alien ship struggled against physics itself. Signal the satellite cluster. Begin Phase 2 of the trap. The supposedly destroyed satellites suddenly powered up, revealing their true nature. Quantum weapons, disguised as primitive communication arrays, locked onto the destabilized alien vessel. Multiple quantum strikes confirmed, tactical announced. Enemy shields failing. Their primary power core is going into emergency shutdown. Signal from Fleet Command. Communications reported. Admiral Rodriguez authorizes Phase 4. All vessels, execute emergence protocols. Maya took a deep breath. This was the moment they had trained for. Humanity's first reveal of its true military capabilities. Bring main drives online. Surface breach maneuver on my mark. Throughout Earth's oceans, quantum submarines began to rise. The Kraxen's sensors, already struggling to compensate for the gravitational attacks, suddenly detected dozens of massive vessels emerging from the depths. They're finally scanning the quantum spectrum, sensor control reported. Reading multiple spikes in their energy emissions. They're realizing that we're not as primitive as they thought. Maya finished. Show them what else we've been hiding. Activate the quantum shield grid. Across the globe, hidden quantum generators powered up. A shimmering field of energy began to form around the planet, combining the output of thousands of generators into a single defensive barrier. The Kraxen fleet, still confident in their superior numbers, found themselves facing technology that matched or exceeded their own. Message from the Kraxen flagship, communications announced. They're demanding an explanation. Maya smiled. Put me through to their command frequency. She stood, straightening her uniform. This is Captain Maya Santos of the Earth Defense Force. For generations, humanity has watched the stars, preparing for this moment. You thought you found a primitive species ready for conquest. Instead, you found equals who chose to hide their strength until it was needed. The question now is, what do you plan to do about it? The bridge fell silent as they waited for the alien response. On tactical displays, the remaining Kraxen ships moved into defensive formations, finally treating Earth as a serious threat rather than an easy target. Multiple quantum signatures detected, tactical reported. The Kraxen fleet is powering up their main weapon systems. As expected, Maya said calmly. Signal all Earth defense forces. Operation Silent Thunder is now in full effect. Let's show our visitors why you don't threaten humanity's home. Across the solar system, humanity's hidden defenses revealed themselves. The real war was about to begin. Colonel Elena Reyes sat in the cockpit of her quantum-enhanced fighter, hidden within a seemingly abandoned hangar deep in the Atacama Desert. Around her, dozens of similar craft waited in perfect silence, their true capabilities masked by sophisticated quantum camouflage. The holographic displays showed the Kraxen fleet spreading out above Earth's atmosphere, preparing for what they thought would be a swift conquest. All squadrons report ready, her wing commander announced through the quantum comm, waiting for final authorization. Elena checked her tactical display as more data streamed in from Earth's defense network. The Kraxen had recovered from their initial surprise at the quantum submarine fleet, but they still hadn't grasped the full extent of humanity's preparations. Their ships had moved into a standard orbital assault formation, preparing to demonstrate their supposed superiority through overwhelming force. Signal from Mount Fuji. Communications reported. Dr. Chen confirms quantum analysis of Kraxen shield frequencies is complete. All fighters now have updated targeting parameters. About time, Elena muttered. She opened a channel to her squadron. Remember your training. Everything we've prepared for comes down to this moment. Humanity didn't hide its strength for generations just to fail now. The hangar's quantum camouflage field rippled as massive doors began to open. Similar scenes played out at hidden bases across the globe. In the Australian outback, the Sahara Desert, the Siberian tundra. Humanity's Air Force was about to reveal itself. Multiple energy spikes detected, tactical announced. Kraxen fleet is powering up their main weapon systems. They're targeting major population centers. Not on our watch, Elena responded. All squadrons, execute Operation Skybreak. Show them why Earth's skies belong to humanity. Quantum engines roared to life as hundreds of fighters launched simultaneously. To the Kraxen sensors, It would appear as though advanced aircraft were materializing out of nowhere, their quantum signatures suddenly blazing across the electromagnetic spectrum. Enemy fleet adjusting formation, Tactical reported. They're redirecting weapon systems to counter our emergence. Elena smiled grimly as she guided her fighter into the stratosphere. Exactly as predicted. Signal the orbital platforms. Begin Phase 2. Above the planet, thousands of seemingly defunct satellites suddenly activated. Each one had been carefully positioned over the years, disguised as space debris or failed communication relays. Now they revealed their true purpose, generating a complex web of quantum disruption fields. Kraxan vessels reporting shield fluctuations, her wing commander announced. Their quantum grid is destabilizing. Dr. Chen's calculations were perfect. The alien fleet's formation began to waver as their ships struggled against the quantum interference. They had based their attack plans on decades of observations, watching Earth's apparently primitive technological development. Nothing in their intelligence suggested humanity possessed this level of quantum manipulation capability. All fighters, engage at will, Elena commanded. Remember your training. Their shields are strongest at the bow. Use the quantum wake to slip past their defenses. Her squadron accelerated, quantum drives pushing them to speeds that would have been impossible with conventional technology. The fighters moved like lightning, each pilot executing maneuvers that took advantage of their intimate knowledge of Earth's gravity well. Multiple hits confirmed, Tactical reported. Enemy shields failing on 3 vessels. Their point defense systems can't track our quantum signatures. Elena watched as her squadron tore through the Kraxan formation. Years of studying alien technology had paid off. Every human weapon had been specifically designed to exploit weaknesses in Kraxan defense systems. Signal from Atlantis. Communications announced. Captain Santos reports quantum submarine fleet is in position. Gravitational pulse generators at full power. Perfect timing. Elena responded. All fighters, clear the target zones. Let's see how the Kraxan handle fighting in 3 dimensions. From the oceans below, massive gravitational distortions began to rise. The quantum submarines had refined their earlier attack, creating precisely targeted gravity wells that played havoc with alien propulsion systems. Kraxan ships found themselves being pulled in multiple directions as Earth's defenders demonstrated their mastery of gravitational warfare. Enemy fleet attempting to regroup, Tactical reported. They're trying to establish a defensive perimeter at high orbit. Not this time, Elena said firmly. Signal the lunar facilities. Commence Operation Moonfall. From the dark side of the moon, humanity's final surprise revealed itself. Massive quantum accelerators, built in secret over decades, powered up. They had been designed for one purpose, to create a battlefield where Earth's defenders would have every advantage. Lunar quantum cannons firing, Tactical announced. Multiple gravimetric distortions detected. The Kraxan fleet is being forced into lower orbit. Elena watched as the alien ships struggled against the combined assault. Caught between the submarine's gravity wells below and the lunar cannons above, pressed on all sides by quantum-enhanced fighters, the mighty Kraxan fleet found itself fighting for survival. Message from Kraxan Command. Communications reported. They're requesting a ceasefire. Interesting timing, Elena remarked dryly. Just when they realize we can match them technology for technology. Signal Fleet Command. The space theater is secured. As her fighters maintained their combat positions, Elena allowed herself a moment of pride. Humanity had prepared for this day for generations, developing technologies in secret while presenting a carefully crafted image of primitive development. The Kraxan had come expecting an easy conquest. Instead, they had found a species that had turned preparation and deception into an art form. All squadrons, maintain combat stance, she ordered. The Kraxan may have requested a ceasefire, but we didn't spend 80 years preparing for this moment to let our guard down now. Around the planet, humanity's defense forces remained at full readiness. The trap had been sprung, the deception revealed, and Earth had proven itself far more dangerous than any alien race had imagined. The question now was what would come next. Dr. Sarah Chen stood in the Lunar Quantum Facility's observation dome, watching Earth rise over the horizon. Behind her, Admiral Rodriguez and the other military commanders gathered around a holographic display showing the current positions of the Kraxan fleet. After 3 days of tense negotiations, the aliens had maintained their ceasefire positions, their mighty warships held in check by humanity's revealed strength. Latest quantum scans confirm it, she reported, turning to face the assembled leaders. The Kraxan fleet has powered down all weapon systems. Their quantum signatures show purely defensive configurations, and the reinforcements they called for. Admiral Rodriguez asked, still holding position beyond Neptune's orbit. Our long-range quantum arrays are tracking them carefully. They seem hesitant to approach. A quiet chuckle rippled through the command center. The Kraxan had expected to find a primitive civilization ready for conquest or protection. Instead, they had discovered a species that had spent generations preparing for this exact moment. Signal from the Kraxan flagship, Lieutenant Patil announced. High Commander Vexor is ready for the final negotiations. Rodriguez straightened his uniform. Very well. Dr. Chen, would you join us? I think it's time we showed our visitors exactly who they're dealing with. The negotiation chamber had been prepared in the lunar facility's main conference room. The quantum field generators hummed quietly, maintaining the artificial atmosphere while sophisticated sensors monitored every aspect of the environment. The Kraxan delegation materialized in a flash of light, their environmental suits gleaming under the artificial illumination. High Commander Vexor, his scaled skin shifting colors with barely contained emotion, stepped forward. You have surprised us, humans. Never in our history has a species managed to deceive the Confederation so completely. That was rather the point, Rodriguez replied calmly. We've been watching the stars for a long time, Commander. We saw how the Confederation treated primitive species, so we made sure you'd see exactly what you expected to see. Until it was too late, Vexar added, a note of grudging respect in his translated voice. Your quantum technology rivals our own, yet you hid it completely. Your military capabilities exceed our tactical projections by several orders of magnitude. How long have you been preparing for this? Sarah stepped forward, activating a holographic display. Since we detected your first probe, 83 years ago, we recovered enough technology to understand what we faced. Instead of announcing our discovery, we chose to prepare in secret. The display showed the progression of Earth's hidden technological development. Quantum submarines beneath the oceans, fighters concealed in remote bases, weapons platforms disguised as space debris. Decades of careful preparation and deliberate deception, all leading to this moment. Remarkable, Vexor murmured. And now, what are your terms? Rodriguez's expression remained neutral. Earth will join the Confederation as equals, not subjects. We've demonstrated our technological capabilities. Our fleet remains fully deployed, our quantum weapons primed. The choice is yours. Accept us as partners, or discover what else we've been hiding. Sarah finished quietly. The alien commander's scales rippled with complex patterns. You understand this changes everything. Other species will learn of this. They will know it's possible to deceive the Confederation. Perhaps that's exactly what the galaxy needs, Rodriguez suggested, a reminder that appearances can be deceiving. That assuming technological superiority can be dangerous. Around them, the lunar facility hummed with power. Through the observation windows, Earth hung like a jewel against the black of space. But now, everyone in the room knew that beautiful sphere was one of the most heavily defended planets in known space. The Confederation accepts your terms, Vexor announced finally. You will be granted full member status, with all rights and responsibilities thereof. He paused, scales shifting to a new pattern. Though I suspect you've already thoroughly studied our protocols and laws. Sarah smiled. We like to be prepared, Commander. Humanity has survived countless challenges by planning ahead. We didn't hide our strength out of fear. We hid it because it was the tactically sound choice. As the formal negotiations proceeded, Sarah moved to the observation window. The Kraxan fleet hung in high orbit, their mighty warships now held in check by the revealed power of Earth's quantum defense grid. But beyond them, she could see the stars, countless points of light, each holding new possibilities. Dr. Chen, Rodriguez called softly, joining her at the window. The Kraxan have agreed to a technological exchange. They're particularly interested in our quantum detection systems. Of course they are, she replied. They want to make sure no one else can hide from them the way we did. She turned to face him. But they still don't know everything we've developed, do they? The Admiral's expression remained carefully neutral. No, they don't. Humanity has learned the value of keeping certain capabilities in reserve. The quantum fold technology, the dark matter reactors, those remain our secrets for now. Sarah nodded, understanding the implications. Earth had revealed enough of its strength to earn respect, but not so much that potential adversaries would know the full extent of human capabilities. Even now, as they prepared to join the galactic community, humanity maintained its careful balance of revelation and deception. Send word to the deep space facilities, she said quietly. Tell them to maintain development schedules. Humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology or our weapons. It's our ability to prepare for the unexpected. As the negotiations continued behind them, Sarah watched the Earth slowly rotate below. Humanity had passed its first great test, proving itself ready for the challenges of galactic civilization. But she knew this was just the beginning. Somewhere out there, other species were watching, learning from the Kraxan's mistake, and humanity would be ready for them too.